Hi, everyone. Today, I had the pleasure of interviewing Gayla Johnson. She is a wonderful comedian. She's a wonderful actress. She's been working in Hollywood for over 20 years. She's been touring the country. She's even toured in the UK, and she had some wonderful advice to share with all you comedians out there. If you're liking all the content, we're dropping new stuff every week. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Let me know if there's anybody you would love to see me interview. Here we go with the interview.
I am ready.
You're ready. Awesome. All right, Gayla. Well, thank you for doing this interview. It's always a pleasure talking with you and being around you and your presence and learning so much from you. But for anyone who doesn't know, let's hear a little bit about Gayla. Let's hear a little bit of your back history.
My back history. Well, born and raised in Los Angeles. So I'm a Los Angeles native. Probably the one of the last ones. I think there's like 3 left, but I don't know. A lot of people have left LA because of LA. So I'm a comedian. I've been doing stand-up for 20 years or more. I've got a Showtime special. I've been on BET, like I'm supposed to be. Black people, we're supposed to be. It's in the bylaws. Black, if you're Black in a community, you have to be. Also, Comics Unleash. I've done some TV, CTV, Latino, Laugh Jam, whatever. I could speak some Spanish, so I don't know. That was fun. Also, an actress. Yes, I've been doing acting for 20 years, so I kind of do both of them. I'm a SAG working SAG actress. Actually, during COVID last year, I shot an episode on This Is Us, and that's a national TV show. And I shot an episode on that, and it was fun. I've been on Criminal Minds and Scandal and guest starred on All Rise and a lot of TV shows. I love them. Brothers and Sisters, Beverly Hills 90210. I'm a recurring actress on a lot of TV shows. On IMDb, nice. You can see my name, Gayla Johnson. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gayla. As far as comedy, as far as your stand-up comedy portion of your career, how, and this probably bleeds out into everything else, but how important is coaching? How important is training for your craft?
As important as taking on any new thing, any new vocation. I don't know if you want to learn how to paint amazing landscapes, or if you're trying to learn how to fly an airplane, learn stand-up comedy. I mean, it's sort of like if it's available to you to learn it first, learn the ins and outs and the secrets of it, then why wouldn't a person invest a little time to understand a little bit about being on stage by yourself with a microphone where you have pretty much a mob staring at you. I have a bird, sorry. Yeah. Pretty much a mob staring at you that's gonna like you or dislike you. I mean, here's the thing. When you're doing stand-up comedy and you have a microphone, you're presenting yourself as an authority on something, clearly you've done your homework and you're going to stand up there and all these people are clearly going to get something. They're going to get a laugh. They're going to understand. They're going to get a shrug, of their shoulder. They're going to agree or disagree, but they're going to be entertained. So if you get up there on a microphone and you're standing there presenting like you're about to do, you better be able to do it.
Yeah.
You better have some tools, not only your material. That's fine, but nobody cares about that if you don't have the other tools, like understanding that people don't like you or that they aren't listening or they just threw something, or maybe the crowd left and you didn't notice because you're doing a monologue.
Yeah.
So it's important, I think, to understand some of those basic fundamentals.
Yeah, I haven't been doing this that long, but I've been training ever since I started, and I haven't stopped training. I feel like it's super important to have coaching, to have mentors. I've been picking up mentors along the way and just trying to not, they say someone who sits there and reads too many books is going to be they're going to paralyze themselves with knowledge. They're not going to be willing to get up. But I feel no, you still have to get up, doing your mics or doing your shows. But also always training, always writing. I feel like the whole writing process is training. It's continuously like evolving and stuff, but having people to bounce that off with, whether it's your mentors, your coaches, you're in classes, so you're amongst your peers talking about your comedy. I just feel like it's like nonstop. I could be doing this for the next 10 years or more. I feel like I'm always going to have a mentor, always being some type of training.
Of course, it's an introspective search inside yourself. It's like ongoing. And gosh, Chris, I remember when you took the class and you're working with us and we're performing together, and we went, we were on that gig. Where was that gig we did? Along the coast,
Santa Barbara.
Stand-up comedy, it's like it's an introspective search to really get to the core of who you are that makes you tick. And then do you want to start exposing that voice? That's a true voice. That's who you are. That's how you think. And then you get vulnerable when you think about actually exposing that voice. And yet, here's the kicker. It's like, do you like yourself? When you start to open up and say those things, and I got to make them funny, but they're not funny. They're who I am. But then you have to kind of get to know yourself and like yourself or dislike yourself and fix yourself. And it's kind of a therapeutic kind of journey. It's like, and if you're enjoying it, you'll do what you're doing. You'll do more with it. You'll start writing, you'll do podcasts and Chris's Corner, and you'll perform a lot, and you learn more about yourself, and you adjust and you change. It's like anything else. It's a relationship in a way.
Hey, I also want to point out to anyone watching, first off, thank you. Second off, I apologize for the loud construction. I have a steamroller right outside my studio working on the street. So right now my entire building is shaking. If it's picking up in my mic, I don't know, maybe it's not picking up. We'll see. Awesome, Gayla. Let's see. How is comedy? I was going to say, like, how is comedy itself helped you in other areas, be it acting, public speaking? Like, where has comedy like really helped you outside of comedy?
It helped me in my acting. It helped me in relationships with my family. It helped me in relationships with people in general. And it's helped me negotiate, because I invest in real estate and we buy the house, and this whole thing we're doing is because of me. And we had a couple of properties before this that we sold, and I learned about, it's really about talking to people and making people laugh and, being contrite and admitting when you're wrong and making up for it, and your relationships relationship flexibility in terms of emotions. My bird dealing with a bird that likes to interrupt. I think if I don't take myself too seriously, then no one else will. Then I'm humanized. It's like it keeps me human. Yeah. Comedy, it does. It keeps me in the moment. It keeps me present and human. Because I go, okay, that was wrong. I'm sorry. I made a mistake there. But anybody see my meds? You have and then people go, okay, she's not. But some people are so serious. Fight, That's fine. That's fine for them, But the only thing is unhealthy if you don't have another point of view to look at yourself and realize that fight right after coffee. Right after coffee, I'm gonna fight, or whatever. But it's just that you have to kind of understand you're just a human being like anybody else, and we're all connected. So you have to find a way to adjust for your day to day.
Yeah.
And stand-up comedy does that for me because there's so much to laugh at.
Well, I think, and I think stand-up like just bleeds into anything, just learning comedy. I've met a lot of people who they don't really know if they want to do stand-up, but they love jokes. Like everyone loves to laugh. And so, and laughing is, laughter is healing for a lot of people. And I think I've met a lot of people who aren't sure if they're the performing comedian. I think there's a lot of people who are comedians in their own ways, whether it's writing or, they're writing a book or they just want to add it into their public speaking and whatnot. you know, I've taken classes with you. I've taken classes with Greg Dean, and there's people in there who aren't really sure. But I feel like you can add that comedy into your. If you're an accountant, I think an accountant really needs to take stand-up comedy, because a lot of accountants can be boring.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, but if an accountant with a sense of humor would be amazing. You know,
Yeah.
you know, because then you're like, okay, now you're engaging, and you know, if you're engaging your clients, but if you're also getting up in the boardroom, I mean, just picture like 10 accountants like in the room just with their monotone voice trying to go over the last quarter's numbers, and it's just like, no. And then some guy just like who just got out of a comedy class is just like, hey, you know, like let's go over these numbers, you know, and just
oh yeah.
yeah, I think I just feel like comedy really can bleed into other parts of people's lives, you know, even if they don't want to do stand up and stuff. So, no, it's great. I would like to know, Gayla, and I like asking people this, like, Gayla today, what's that one piece of advice that Gayla today could give Gayla, the young Gayla? I don't want to say 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or just young Gayla.
Ah, wow. So I thought about that too, and I come up with so many things. Many things. Wow. You know what? As a comedian, I think I would tell young Gayla to go on the road and do comedy.
Okay.
Give it a good year of the road comic experience. Now, I've done some road. I've done some shows up north a lot. I've Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club is in Arizona, or is it Texas? It's in Texas. I've done that a couple of times. I've featured there. Also featured at Rooster T. Feathers, which is in San Jose. Okay. I've also featured down in San Diego at Comedy Palace. I've been on the road. I've done some shows where I stayed in hotels and did the weekend a lot. But I think what I would tell Gayla, in terms of young comic Gayla, is to just do a tour around the United States. I've also toured London. I've toured London. I've done shows out there, and I've done Montreal. So what am I talking about? Okay, what I'm talking about is,
what you meant to say is young Gayla needs to tour more.
Yeah, young Gayla needs to tour more of the American clubs.
Yeah,
from coast to coast.
What do you now? I'm not a touring comic. I've only been outside of LA a couple times because I'm still new. But
right.
You saying like it's important, like you would go back and tell young Gayla to go tour the US, like go around what is the importance of that? Like why would you tell young Gayla to do that?
Well, here it is here. I would tell young Gayla to do that because of the relationships I'd make on the road with comedy clubs and bookers, features, and other headliners. Because you get to a point where you don't want to tour anymore. You don't want to leave town. You're getting older. You have kids. You have a mortgage. You have things to do. But if you have those relationships established, then you can just call and go, hey, can I book a tour for myself? I know these people. They know my work. I've been there. I performed. I was successful, and then you can get a hold of John and Mac and Jimmy and Sally and whoever you know and go, I'd like to book a tour. I'm booking myself a tour. If you don't have a manager, if you don't have management, if you don't have anyone, then you can do it yourself. But if you have a manager, that's great too, because they know that those bookers also know you, so that it's easy just to book a tour for yourself if you decide you want to go on tour.
Yeah.
The manager, also those people that you would have made relationships with, they can recommend management to you, or they can recommend other jobs you can do. If you just want to go on tour. I didn't go on tour because I'm an actress as well. And back in the day, they didn't have what's now called virtual auditioning. So every time I left town, I could miss an audition for a TV show or a recurring role. And so I decided not to leave town. I could go up north, and I've done this a couple of times. I performed it. I did a show in San Francisco, and then I just get there that night, and I'm there on the day to do it that night for the show, and I get auditioned the day after. But I'm there for the weekend, so I'm there for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on Friday morning I got to come back to LA, do an audition, turn around, and go back to the San Francisco club scene and get back in my hotel room, and it's hectic to do it at the same time. So it's just that I would have taken a year or so off of acting to do a tour, to establish relationships, to get to know the road, to kind of get my feet wet, and make that an arm of my career, so that I can go that direction if I want.
Right.
Because now at this point, I have some representation that knows my work, that can book me on a tour, but it's an unknown. It's sort of a sight unseen, that they don't know me. I don't know them. I don't know where I'm going to stay. I don't know how they run the room. And I'm not familiar with their practices. Every club is pretty much different in a way. You got to kind of know the club. It's a different scene. It's a different tone. And the audiences are different. Like an LA audience is different than a Arizona audience.
Yeah.
And an Arizona audience is different than like Florida audience. And there's red states and blue states. There's so much. So it's kind of important to know, like, where you're going and what's important there, and what's in the news there, and what's going on. Had I touched on that years ago, I would understand that, okay, well, it's just going to be more of that. If I wanted to go today, more of that post Trump era, more of that post Black Lives Matter era, more of that post, the Me Too era. There's so many eras, so it's like it's just more of that. Now it's.
But let me ask you this, Gayla. Like, you're talking about the touring and all that stuff. How, as far as a comic goes, like, how important is it to have a manager or agent for bookings? Or I know you mentioned you could do it yourself. Like, why should I pay someone to make the calls? Is it because they already have connections, or is it because they already have a curated list, or is it because they know your comedy and they know where to put you?
It's super helpful to have someone that knows your comedy and knows where to put you. I've had some good opportunities, and unfortunately, I didn't. Unfortunately, I haven't. I had Pat Buckles one time, and Kirsten Valkenberg. These were two women working together. They were amazing. The reason I like having managers, and I wish I had a comedy manager. I have an acting agent, and I have an acting manager. So, and I also have I have a commercial agent. But I wish I had a comedy manager, because I don't know, they do have the relationships. They also, by being with them, they sort of endorse you, and it's easier. It's less. It's easier to get jobs. I mean, I got some of my TV spots because of my manager. She just said, "I got somebody. Here's her name. Book her." I didn't have to send a tape, and I didn't have to schmooze, and I didn't have to, open mic and wait in line and try to do a free, one of those open call auditions, and I didn't get judged with 3 minutes. I just got endorsed by my manager. Plus, she had me at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Festival years ago, which they do in Vegas, which is where they pick. They see a host of comedians and they pick them for the year to come and do various venues. So comedy, I need to turn. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be somewhere else on another meeting. And there's my picture, and this meeting is going on, but I have to leave. I have to leave this meeting. Okay. Okay. I'm in it. Okay. So So many interruptions when you're at home, man. It's just like,
Yeah.
what else again? Oh yeah, the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Festival is. Greg said, "Take a shower right in front of me." Okay, it's okay. The Laugh Out Loud. I'm in this new house. This new house is a master bedroom. Okay, I'm in a master bedroom. Master bedroom. Oh, let me turn the camera around to show that.
No.
Okay, I'm in the master bedroom and I'm not using it as a master bedroom. It's just my day room because Greg convinced me that when you go to sleep, you just go to sleep.
Yeah.
You just need to go into one of the smaller bedrooms, just sleep, and then just go to sleep. You don't need. So this bedroom has this huge bathroom. It has a huge bathroom. It has 2 sinks and there's this nice shower. And it's like, why are we spending all this wonderful space on just sleeping and then leaving? Like, no, we took one of the smaller bedrooms just to sleep in. And now this room, I can spend my whole day in it until Greg comes and takes a shower. Okay.
Yeah.
So my point. So Greg, okay. All right. Anytime I pick up something, he runs and hides. Okay. So I was at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Festival and I was just so nervous because every club owner was there. Okay. Every college booker was there for college venues. Probably every corporate booker was there for corporate venues, and cruise ships. So you have all these heads of companies there that are looking at probably 45 comedians waiting to perform for them.
Yeah.
So the audience, can you hear, Chris, can you hear water running now? You don't? Okay.
A little bit, but it's okay. It's not.
It's okay. All right.
It's fine. It matches the water behind you. And
okay. Okay. Oh, good. So the audience is digital. And digital audiences are so difficult to work with. So a digital audience is not people that laugh. Chris, let me just.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Yeah. So Gayla is probably gonna go put her bird down. No, she's not doing that.
I wish I would have gone to your room.
Maybe she's covering the cage with a sheet or something.
God. So the audience says, maybe I can go to his room. Anyway, here's an idea. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop video. I'm going to pick up my computer. I'm going to walk out. I'm going to come down the hallway. I'm going to go in this room, close the door. I'm going to move his computer. I'm going to set up my computer. I'm going to pull up the chair. I'm going to sit in the chair. And now I've arrived.
There you go.
Oh my God. This is crazy. So I realize, so digital audiences are people that don't laugh. They're, every time you perform, you do something, they're just in their head thinking, oh, that was funny. That's funny. Oh, she knows what she's doing. I like that character. Oh, that was clean. That wasn't blue. Oh, look, she's pretty aware of what's going on. She's in a relationship with the audience. She's there. She knows her. She's a professional. I trust her or I don't trust her. Those are digital people. Those are people like cops, doctors, and as you said, accountants, people like nurses, people like therapists, okay, people like anybody that is, they have to be, firemen, they have to be emotionally disassociated from their work or they can't do their work. You imagine a doctor, if a doctor was really emotionally connected to his work every time he had to do a surgery or talk to someone, I have to do a heart thing. Well, they can't. You imagine a cop if he was really emotionally, hi, sir, I'm so sorry. You ran the red light and oh my God, I'm sorry. I have to ask you for your driver's license.
Or the opposite, rage.
Yeah, they got to be. Oh, rage. Yeah, rage.
rage.
Hey, motherfucker. You
Give me your
just got a red
goddamn
light.
license.
I was having a donut. I mean, yeah, they have to be, sir, can I see your driver's license? They have to be that way. So
Yeah.
bookers, I mean, casting directors, producers, and directors in general, they are all emotionally just dissociated. Their emotions are not there, nowhere. They've buried them.
Yeah.
So here you go. You got all these people at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Festival staring at all these comics like,
different than the typical comedy club goers.
And I'm talking to like maybe 25 of those people. And
because now, are you talking to them because they're trying to book comics for like a fireman's picnic or something, or what?
Yeah. And you need an agent, or you need an agent or manager to get a spot in that particular arena.
Because that's who they
and
do
I had a
business
manager,
with,
she got me a spot. And so you have 45 people that have 45 managers, or maybe one manager handles 3 comics or something. I don't know. But not only are they staring at you, but they're staring at you with a clipboard. Because if they like you, they'll put Gayla, and then afterwards they'll go look for my manager and they'll schedule me for the year.
Yeah.
And that is like, that blew my mind. I mean, I didn't do a good show, so I didn't get any bookings because I just stopped performing because they weren't laughing.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going on. And I thought that was a funny joke. That joke always works. But some lady was like, and that was all I got. And so, but that is the inside scoop of being a road comedian with a manager or working those other venues. It's difficult to book yourself on that because you have to, because then they have to go talk to you about setting up your schedule for the year. You need someone else to handle that. But then me, I can't commit to that if I have auditions that might come in. So I kind of bumped heads against myself in that whole world. That's why I would love to have another manager. I need to do that again. And I need to get back out there, and I want to do the road. Here's another reason I would recommend some sort of representation. I was working at Rooster T. Feathers for a long time. I feature. And some of the headliners would have to follow me, and they go, gosh, she's so good. And I'm not trying to pat myself. I'm just saying that I featured for, whenever you book a road show on the weekend, you're going to do like 6 shows. You're going to do probably 1 on Thursday night, 2 or 3 on Friday. Friday, there's going to be like a 8 o'clock show, a 10 o'clock show, and a late show, 12. And then that gets really blue. Then there's probably 3 or 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. That's how it kind of works. And they give you a hotel room and you stay overnight. So I've done Rooster like 3 or 4 times as a feature. And I so want a headline all the time. And so I'm always changing my feature performance. Like I have to do like a 35-minute show or something. But I do certain material one time, 35 minutes. The next night, I do all different material, 35 minutes. And the next night, I do a whole different show, all 35 minutes, because I have like 2 hours of material. I have that I just know that works, and that I reinvent and reinterpret all the time. So it's different and more fun, and I find new tags and new jokes, because nothing's worse than just doing jokes. Because jokes get old and they aren't funny anymore, and you're not as committed to them, and you're tired of them. The thing is, they aren't jokes. They have to become stories, and they have to become an expression of who you are. So you have to reinterpret it to motivate yourself to stay in the game. Because it'll take a year to write a whole new hour. You got to write a whole new hour, and I'm doing that. So it also it helps to make it helps to give you more product, and I call it like product is your material. sometimes, like in Greg's class, for instance, we're working with students that they come into the advanced class, they work on something, and then they perform it at the showcase, and then they come back the next session, they want to work on new stuff. And when I'm teaching the class, I go, I got it. I know you want to work on new stuff. However, we have 6 weeks together. We have to spend one of those weeks, like the first night here, reviewing familiar material, because you got to punch that up and you got to work on that to keep it fresh and to reinvent it so that you have a solid product that you've created that can be done and redone and over and that you can call on and you can trust. Because if you just worked on that show one time and performed it, you haven't reinvented it again for another time. And we can't trust it to be there for you when you have to suddenly, give Comedy Central a 3-minute set and you need all A jokes. How do you know they're A if you haven't worked on them a few more times and performed them? So we always work on old material and we restructure it and tag it and find some callbacks, find some act outs, and make it better and better before we move on. Because I'm telling you, if you really want to build up an hour or two that you can trust, you have to keep doing that old familiar material from different points of views with different contexts, different emotional levels. It's as simple as do it angry. Now do it happy. Now do it embarrassed. Now do it like you're in trouble and you're hiding something. Just keep practicing in different ways, and then look at your audience. Try doing your material for a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And then you have to kind of do it differently so they understand. And they have short attention spans. So you have to, hey. And then do it pretend you're performing at an old folks home or rest home where old people are hard of hearing and they're barely listening to you. So you have to make it really personal to every person. Your jokes, your interpretations,
Right.
and now do it for, I don't know, another kind of audience. A bunch of drunk people, like you always do. Man, that's the easiest audience. What was I anyway, so I wish so having a manager when you're ready, I guess, when you're ready to get you those spots, those jobs where you just explode out there. That's what I would reach for. And then but every time I leave town, I get an audition. It's like one of those things, it's almost like every time you decide to, work on your car, it rains, I don't know. So it's a weird
when you're
thing.
not trying to blow up with a viral video, that's when it goes viral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I just say that because I have all these TikTok videos. I know, stupid, but you put all this time and effort, right, and into your videos. No one watches, no one likes your stuff, and then I post a video of my son dancing. Like it was a really goofy video, something really silly, and it was just like whatever. I posted it, and it got 1 million views and got like 70,000-80,000 likes. Like I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like what?
Wow.
So, but that's my videos. It's like the less effort you put into it, all of a sudden, boom. Like I know that's not less effort in your comedy. You're going to explode. That's not how this works. But
yeah, I get what you're saying though. It's like that impromptu innocence, home movie kind of thing with that is one thing. And then TikTok where you have the skill of editing it and making it, there are better editors than you. There are better TikToks than you, but there's no one better than your son dancing because that's just who he is.
Right. Gayla, this is one of my last questions. I like asking people this as far as quick tips. Now you're a very experienced comedian. If I was a new comic, if I was new today and you just ran into me, what are some quick tips you could give me to send me on my way? What would you tell a new comedian in today's world?
Wow. Good question. I think I would be focused on the first things. a person would need to do to make sure they're protected from this job, from stand-up comedy? I would go that direction. So what I mean is, if you're really going to stand up there and talk to people, I don't care if you're going to be funny or you're going to be serious. Anything that puts you on the soapbox, make sure that you understand a little bit about yourself. So I would say write down all the things you're hiding. Make a list of things you're hiding. Maybe not all of them, maybe just the top 10. And then write down the top 10 fears you have of public speaking. It's public speaking. I would say write down, and one more list. Write down what you're afraid of that people have said to you, what people have said to you they like and dislike about you. Now, just take those and let's do a session, a private session, or get into a class or work with a friend or find a comedian. Make sure you write a joke about every one of those things that are wrong. Those are the things that are wrong with you that you determine. Because as soon as you get on stage in front of a live audience, the first thing people are going to do is find out what's wrong with you. They're going to judge you. You're going to be too fat, too tall, too thin, too ugly. Your voice is not nice. I don't like your hair. They're going to judge you, and they're going to heckle, and they're going to give you a thumbs down, and they're going to say things. So the idea of writing out the one-liners for all the things that you're afraid would happen in those lists is to empower yourself to be able to say, you guys can hate me, or you can make fun of me, or you can try to make me feel bad, but too bad, I've already beat you to it. Nobody can make fun of me worse than I can make fun of myself. So if you want to say that, oh, look at Gayla, she's ugly. You know what? I am ugly. You should see me in the morning before coffee, because, hey, it's COVID ugly. I have a right to be ugly. Ugly is in, baby. And if you're going to cancel me because I'm ugly, then you're the one that's not connected and woke. So anyway, you create some kind of rant because you've already made a joke about being ugly.
Right.
So I'm like, is that all you got? Really? Is that it? I'm ugly? Really? Is that it? What? Anything else? Come on. Because, you've already done the work on yourself where you can survive an attack. Unfortunately, in this climate, we have attacks all the time. And people get defensive. That's what we want to do. We want to get defensive and just go back and fight. And then there's so many people that go to open mics and they get discouraged because of the attack on their material, or the attack on how they said something, or the attack on how they look or something. Get over it. Just getting over it means write a joke about it. Write a joke about how you look. Write a joke about how you sound. Write a joke about how bad you've been or how bad you're going to be. Write a joke about all the stuff you're ashamed and you're upset and you're frustrated. And then when you're performing, blame those people for those things that are wrong. Blame those people for, you people, I'm up here doing stand-up like you, Chris. I'm doing stand-up for you, and none of you liked my TikTok videos. Huh? What about that? What about my TikTok videos? I can give you jokes. I've got jokes. I've got all kinds of stuff, but I have TikTok videos that nobody saw. And let me give you that while we're in this relationship. Let me give you the link. Yeah, just go to the link and just click on it, and you just make fun of yourself in that way, because that's what's wrong, and you know what's funny is it's like, well, what do you write the jokes about? You have to look at your conversation. When you start having a conversation with someone and these things come out that are wrong, that's what you write jokes about, and then it'll really feel good to be able to make more fun of yourself and not take yourself as seriously. And it really stumps negativity, negative attacks. It's like, I remember I was at a show one time and someone was racist and said a racist comment to me about Black people, and that tried to throw me off my game. like, oh, black people this or something. I forget what they said. And the first thing I said back was, really, you feel that way? Wow, that's interesting, because I don't like black people either. And it's tough for me because there's a lot of them in my family. So what do I do about that, sir? What do you suggest I do about that? I mean, black people are everywhere in my family. I have a family barbecue. Black people. Oh my God. My aunt is black. My grandmother's black. Oh, my brother's black. His wife. My kid. Oh my God. What do you think I should do? So we share that. And it just like, I'm afraid, I don't, and it turned out just to be, he started laughing or whatever, because he realized that he was just being racist and trying to make me feel bad, or being, whatever. I can't change the color of my skin. I can't. I have a point of view because of it, but it's not all I got a point of view.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm not going to take it anymore. But at the same time, my toaster broke. My toaster. That toaster is so important. I put my croissants in that toaster, and I have croissant toaster bread things to eat in the morning, and it broke, and I can't march right now because I need a new toaster, whatever. But I mean, yeah, I overtalked that question. So
No,
I would say, write down some jokes about yourself first, so that when things are going bad on stage, you can make a joke about yourself. Guys, I don't know. I thought that would be funny. It was funny in the shower, and I took that shower 3 years ago. I don't take showers and you make fun of yourself, and then they laugh. And as soon as you get a laugh about something that went wrong, or the way that you're feeling, or the tension is broke, then you feel like you can do this. So, yeah.
No, that's great. I feel like also, like a lot of comics, when they're new in this business, me included, I did this at the very beginning, was we all reach for that low hanging fruit. Everyone makes the sex jokes, and the silly, the fart jokes, the stuff that's just really easy. And I think, recently I've been learning that too. And just because you're like sitting there saying, write down all your bad qualities, anything negative people may have said about you. I think that's really important to really kind of go through this whole, like, but kind of a self-discovery, kind of put it out on paper or on a whiteboard and really look at it, analyze it, because I think that's part of that journey of finding your voice. I'm still working on that myself, but trying to learn who you are on stage, because I think the funnier things are when people get up and talk about their darkest fears, or like their worst nightmares, stuff that's really happened to them, negative stuff that's happened to them. But then, and we all feel it, and then they flip that, they flip the funny part, the punchline, and they add their perspective to it, and that's where I think we all find that humor. But anyone can do that with like a sex joke, you know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of comics are like, oh yeah, everyone starts there, but then you'll grow, or if you want to, you'll grow past that. But I think no, I was just saying, like with you saying, like writing everything out, I think even, whether you're a new comic or if you're a well-seasoned comic, if you're still working on trying to figure out what your voice is, I think that's an important practice to do that. Write all that out.
I think so too. And it's a tough idea because you don't want people to know any of that. But here's the thing. The first year or so of your comedy career, the audience is looking for that.
Yeah.
They're looking for how to expose you. That's why you get hecklers and people would disagree, and they'll throw you off your game, and they can tell when you're nervous and uncomfortable. You got to realize the audience's whole job is to sit and analyze and see if they can see through you, or if they can see how comfortable the audience is in whatever state you're in. So if you're performing and you're nervous and you're hiding something and you're uncomfortable and you're sweating and you're trying to follow a script and you're on book and all this stuff, they can tell that you're really not really ready, and you're nervous and you're not yourself, and they don't know you, but they just know they feel uncomfortable for you, and you're making them feel bad because you're sweating and you're crying and I don't know, whatever. So if you start to make jokes about the way that you are, then you start to relax being that way and make it okay and
Yeah.
everything. Then you get the critic off your back, all that stuff. And then you're playful and intuitive and in the moment, and you're present, you're making mistakes, you're making it okay. And then you're checking in with the audience and you're in a relationship, and then you go from there, but it's, being yourself is a kind of a risky thing these days,
Yeah. Yeah. Putting yourself out there. Well, Gayla, thank you so much. Like, you answered some awesome questions. We learned a little bit about Gayla today. We got some of her quick tips. Hell yeah. That was Gayla Johnson with tons of wisdom for all you comedians out there, both new and pros. Great information. Gayla, we love you. Can't wait to see you at the next show. Can't wait to see you out there with Greg Dean and all those cool comics. I'm happy that I know you. I love it. I love these interviews. I learned so much. What was the biggest takeaway you got from this interview? Drop that in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe, like, all that jazz. Dropping new content every week. We got lives every week, live streams every week. Lives. We're lives. All right. I love you, folks. We will see you next time. Peace.